All right. Hello. Hello, everyone. All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I would like to take this opportunity before we start just to thank everybody that is here and also to thank the Carillon for this opportunity to create this platform for us, and especially to Roxana Medina, which is the marketing manager and the person that is always working to help us to create these avenues for us. Um, and that person has made this possible. It is a pleasure to be here today to talk about this important topic that at some point in our life we're all going to be affected by this, uh, possibly many times in our lives. So I have been helping people to heal from a broken heart for 10 years now at the Carillon, since I graduated from the School of Healing. And personally, I have gone through, the loss of my dad when I was 15 years old. So at that time, I became so angry and I didn't know how to process my broken heart. I became very rebel, and it took me 20 years to really heal from this deep wound that I had early on in my life. Um, and only when I found the Barbara Brandon School of Healing, the school that I went to become a healer, I was able to heal this and transform all these suppressed emotions that I carried for so long. So I'm going to share what has worked, for me and most of my patients. And my intention is to share practical steps that you could use right away that will help you to move forward through this difficult moment. That's the idea. And at the end, you will be more connected to yourself, to your creativity, to your essence, and you'll feel a lot better. So this is what we're going to talk about throughout the conversation. And we're going to talk about grieving, which is a very important part of healing a broken heart. If you lose somebody, if somebody dies around you, if you change relationships, we all go through this grieving process, and sometimes we want to stop it. And how to deal with our emotions when we go through this? How do we deal with the emotions? What happens with the mind? What happens with the stories of the mind that start to show up? With the painful thoughts that keep repeating in our minds? And how to shift those thoughts, how to question the mind and how to realize and how to let go of some of these. And finally, we're going to talk about the spiritual meaning and opportunity, that the gift that is underneath the broken heart, because this is an experience that we all go through, and there is a gift. If you know how to take advantage of that, there is a gift there that will help us evolve or transform. So at the end, like I said, you will be more prepared to go through this transition in a way that will heal you and transform you. So I want to start saying that in order to feel heartbroken, in order to feel the pain of loss, we have to keep going there with our minds. It's like, we have to think about either the person or the moment in which this happened. We have to go to the story in our minds. There are certain times when we go to the person in that has created this, or that we have created this broken heart. But there's a certain moment of the day. We might be working throughout the day, we're busy, but at some point in the day, our mind goes there, usually when we're not busy anymore. So our minds snap right back to the situation, and it's almost like we're there. The moment that we're not busy, we feel also lonely. We feel alone because we go back to the same situation. We think about, oh, I wish I was with this person. I wish I didn't lose this person. I wish we were still together. So we feel a sense of loss, and we think of the person, and we wish to be there with them at that moment. And also, when we're ready to go to bed at night and the person is not there anymore, we feel that loneliness because we have time to think and to process. So that again is the time that we start thinking about the person. And it may also be a time that is a good time, not only a time that we're just not doing anything. We might be looking at a beautiful sunset, or looking at a TV show, and we think about, oh, wow, what if that person would be with me? So that's the troubling thing, it's not only in the bad things that we're thinking about that person or that breakup, but we also think about them when we're experiencing a good thing. So how can we get past these types of pain? How can we move quickly to a stronger place in our lives? That's the key here. How can we move from this place of feeling so heartbroken, so so lost? And what we usually do when we don't know what to do is we try to distract ourselves. That's the first thing that we do. Many people go into distraction. They become very busy, and they start calling all their friends. They don't want to be alone at any time. And we think, how can I distract myself as much as I can so I don't have to feel this? How many activities can I fill my day with? How many friends can I invite over? So I don't have to think a lot about this person anymore. But if you've ever been heartbroken, you know that we can try to fill our day as much as we can, but sometime in the morning or at night, we're going to be by ourselves, either in the shower or on the way to work, and we're going to go back to the same suffering. So it's difficult to feel our day. So this thing of distracting ourselves doesn't work as much. It's a temporary fix. So it's like a band-aid, but it's not going to help us. So distraction alone isn't a remedy for curing that heartache. So what has helped me, other than distraction, is when I'm able to do something that I feel that I'm making some progress in my life. If I can find something creative that I can feel that I'm doing something productive, that I see that I'm changing, or I see that I'm gaining value with this, or that it increases my self-esteem, then I feel better. Then gives me a chance to come out of that distraction, which doesn't work. But I want to make a differentiation here between distraction and progress. Distraction is a short-term solution to heartbreak. When we drink, or when we eat, or when we go out for a night and we become, we drink a lot, or even when we sleep with somebody else, just to forget about the situation, the pain that we're feeling. That is distraction. We spend all the time that we want with friends. We go on a vacation with them, but nothing will feel that. Nothing will take away that heartbreak. Friends and being busy, being distracted is not going to help. So this is what I want to tell you. If that's where you go, you're not going to find any release. At least it's going to be a very short time. But if you find something that you really like, if you find something that is productive, that you feel that you're doing something good for yourself and for others, then that might give you some progress and will help you move out. And some of us, let's face it, sometimes we feel like, oh, we're going to try to sleep over with a lot of people, or some people, and at some point, if we didn't find the right person, if they don't match up with the other person that we kind of lost or we broke up with, we're going to dive into a bigger depression, or we're going to feel that emotional pain even growing inside of us. So distraction doesn't help to solve the problem. It just takes your mind out of the moment. That's what distraction does. And progress actually helps you move out of it. Distraction, it doesn't matter, if your family comes and takes you on a vacation and they give you all this money and this luxury life, and you're still going to feel this pain inside. So what do we do? I know this place very much because when my dad passed away, he was so important in my life. My mother sent me to Brazil to my grandparents' home, and I went straight to Carnival, Brazilian Carnival. And I was dancing, I was 15, but I went through losing my dad to dancing Carnival for the rest of the summer. And that wasn't a good idea because I suppressed all my emotions and my sadness and my feelings of loss for so many years. And almost I robbed myself the opportunity to heal a lot quicker. So that's where grieving is so important. Grieving is the main key for you to heal yourself from a heartbreak. And grieving, if you think about, is sometimes we believe, or we think that is just the pain that we feel about that specific heartbreak. But when somebody leaves our life, either because they died or because they broke the relationship or even because they found somebody else, there's a process that starts in us. And if you allow yourself to feel some of the pain, some of the pain that is not related even to that relationship will start coming up. So that means that when you start crying because of that person, is not only that pain of that relationship, but so many other relationships, so many other times in our life that we experience a loss and we keep suppressing that. So some people are very afraid of letting themselves go through that grieving process because they think that they're going to vanish and they're going to cry forever. But this is the only way that we have. So the process of grieving is not always the same intention. There is a first day of grieving, then there's a second day, there's a 1 week, there is 15 days, there's a month, 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. And it gets better. Gets better. From the intensity, it starts going down. So it's not always that terrible feeling. So recently, almost a month ago, I lost my best friend, my best companion for 15 years. We've been together and we laughed. We had a great time. We had so much communication. It was my little dog and best friend, Tito. And it's hard for me to talk about this still today, because I still have a lot of emotion, and I can cry at any time, honestly. So this time I said to myself, okay, well, I'm going to allow myself to grieve. And so I prepared myself, I gave myself the space and the time. I took time from work, and I created the space that I was going to be able to do it, because sometimes people around us don't want to see us in pain. And I allow myself to cry, and to go through the waves of emotion and loss. And I cried a lot. I burst into tears and sobbing and really feeling and sometimes even screaming. But I was determined to use that as an opportunity to heal more, to let go of all the pain that was still left inside of me, because I knew how beneficial that would be for myself. And it wasn't all the time. I was able to work. I was able to see my patients. And I was honest with my patient. I will tell them that this is what I'm going through with my partner. I was able to tell I'm very sad. This everything in my body was very sad. And I cried for first week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It was a lot, because this person meant a lot for me. This little thing that accompanied me for so long meant a lot for me, and we were so intertwined. And I didn't want to get rid of his bed, for instance, because I knew I wanted to go through it. I didn't want to numb it. I didn't want to repress it inside. And I was able to live my life and eat and sleep, because I was allowing. After each episode of crying, I was feeling almost sore everywhere and a little bit depressed. But the next day, I was alive again. I was feeling better until the next wave would come. So I would create that possibility to allow myself to heal. And this is crucial. This is very important. Grieving is like purging the pain that we carry inside. On a spiritual level, it is a gift, because life, or the other person that is leaving us, is creating the momentum for us to vomit that, to bring that out. So if we don't do that, our creativity, our ability to love and to feel our essence will be diminished, will be locked inside, and will take us a lot more work to do to bring that out and to heal that. So it's very important that you people do this, because if not, you will have to end up coming to see me, like most people do, after 2 years. Because what happens when we don't grieve, we suppress everything down, and we also suppress pleasure, we suppress love, we suppress our essence, our energy. And after that, what's going to happen if everything is suppressed? We're not going to be able to feel joy. And it's going to start affecting our ability to think, our ability to work, etc. So that's what people do. They come to see me, and they have a lot to let go, a lot to grieve. And we start the grieving process, start feeling, coming inside the body and allowing the person to feel. So it's important that you take advantage of that. So when Tito left, it was very difficult. And I decided, well, that I'm not going to bypass it with my tools. I'm going to take one day at a time and feel it. So we talk about grieving and the emotions that may come up, because it's not always sadness. It could be anger. I was so angry at my dad for leaving me, even if he had a heart attack. But I felt, inside of me, that it was so repressed that I felt that he left me, and I was angry, and I was like a victim for 20 years, 25 years. And I had a lot of blame inside, and so I would justify things that I would do. And at some point, the mind is not going to be able to hold this anymore. So it will create some of the stories and some of the thoughts that will create even more stagnation in our life, even more stuckness. So this is what we're going to look at now. Some of the thoughts that show up when we lose somebody, it is like, I lost the other person, I lost her, or I lost him. That's one. I wanted him to come back, or I wanted her to come back. I want him to stay with me. I want her to stay with me. I can't live without him. You know, he made me happy. I didn't want it to end. He will come back. I will wait for him, and it will be better. And we believe this. We're trapped in this. He will come back. He left me. I want him to come back. And, there are ways to question this and transform these thoughts, of course, but we don't have the time to go through the process. But I have to tell you this. The thought that nobody can leave you, nobody can leave you, that's not possible. People come and go in life. They come, they live, they die, they move to other relationships, they fall in love with other people, they make mistakes, they choose other people by mistake, and then it's too late to come back. This is how life goes. It's change all the time. Couples don't stay together a lot. Some do. But nobody can leave you. They don't leave you in a garbage can or in the kitchen or in the bathroom. You're still alive, you're still breathing, but in your head, you leave yourself because you start thinking about this so much. So he didn't leave you, he just went on with his life. You lived yourself. So the other thought, I want him to come back. The mind says, I want him to come back. But in my life, I don't want anybody to come back when, they decide to leave. I want people to go wherever they want to go. Because when I want somebody to come back that is not coming back, I suffer immediately. I don't want Tito to come back, my father to come back. I want them to continue their life, their journey. Even if they fall in love with somebody else, I don't want anybody to come back that doesn't want to come back. I only want the person to come back that comes back. So I look, who's coming back? A friend, a mother, a sister, a colleague. But I don't want that person that is not coming back to come back. The other thought that we have is, I can't live without him. And the opposite of that is as true or truer. I can live without that person. At the beginning, when Tito passed away recently, I can't live without him. I can't. But my heart was still pumping. I was still breathing. I was still alive. Yes, I can live without him. Yes. Change is inevitable. I can't live without myself being in these painful stories and in these crazy thoughts. But I can live with different people. I can live in so many different situations. I survived when my father passed away. I survived when my brother was killed. I survived when I lost people that I thought I loved. I survived when Tito passed away. I didn't want it to end. Now I understand I want everything to end on time. Because people leave on time. When a relation needs to end, it ends. Everything is done for us. We're not in control of that. In my mind, I don't want it to end. I didn't want it to end. But my soul knows better. My soul knows that Tito needed to move to a different incarnation or a different experience. And the other person that is living with somebody else is going to have a different experience. And it's going to create space for me to also to find myself again. and to cry and to grieve and to bring all that pain and that anger out. So I did want it to end. I wanted every relationship that ended to end, because it created space for new relationships to start. I wanted Tito to leave because it was his time to leave, and my father to leave at the right time. That's how I bring a little bit more clarity and peace into my life, when I start to accept and love reality and what is. But I couldn't have done that without letting myself go through the emotions and purge some of that emotions. Some people say, he will come back, she will come back, the person will come back, and it will be better. And they wait and wait and wait and wait. I want them to come back. No, I don't want them to come back. I'm not going to wait 5 minutes of my life. I want to come back to my life right now. Right now. I don't want to go into that craziness of, I want the other person to come back, I will wait. They will change one day, they will change and they will come back. No. I want to come back right now and accept what is right now. And if I have to cry and let go and purge, then I will give myself all the time that I need. Life is change, and when we resist change, we suffer. And it doesn't matter what we want or when we want it. It just happens. And there was this thought, I wanted Tito to stay more time. I wanted him to survive another week or so. And today I say, no, I didn't want Tito to stay more time. Not even one more week. He was 15 years old already. He had arthritis, he had heartache problems, he was very weak. We become so selfish, that we don't want to feel the pain, so we keep the people with us. Or we say, I wanted that person to stay with me even if they are not happy. That is not love. Love is to say, okay, well, if you want to be with somebody else and it's not me, I want you to be happy. And I want to be happy too. I don't want you to stay with me if you want to be with somebody else. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to really find the right job or the right person, the right relationship. And I want you to be happy. I want Tito to really ascend and go into his transition. And I want to ascend because I was so low, I was suffering so much. I want to ascend at some point and come out of this painful story and painful hole that sometimes we get in. I want you to want, I want what you want. But if you want to be with me, I want that. But if you want to be with somebody else, I want that too. I want what you want. You want somebody else? Okay. Because if not, I suffer. So I recently wrote a post in my Instagram page that I want to share with you. I'm going to read directly from it. And it says, to love is to let go of the people that want to go. And it's an opportunity to rediscover ourselves and to learn how to love ourselves even more. And finally, it is to want that the other one is happy too, the one that is leaving us. That is real love. When we don't want them to go and we try to keep them and it's time, we suffer. I know that it is very difficult to let somebody go that we still love, even when they die or they leave us. It's a big thing to do. But sometimes that's exactly what life is asking us to do. Sometimes we don't understand that it's for our own benefit and for the other. Even if somebody passes away, if there are other lives, if there are other experiences, for the soul to transcend and to transform, and we're trying to give them here. It's even if somebody wants to go and live in another country and have their own experiences, is always about us. We want to keep the other person here, and we create very abusive situations for us and for the other. But life is asking us to let go, to trust. And we cry and we give tantrums. No, no. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Life, reality reigns supreme. This is the movement of life, the movement of change. Things come and go, and it will keep happening. But slowly we realize that something better is about to come. That a new day will arise. That the birds are going to start singing again, and that we're going to start feeling the smells of life again. And maybe we're going to find a new love, and the love that we have for ourselves, inside, the love that we have inside ourselves. We're going to learn how to accept ourselves, to accept the moment. And as long as we start letting go, we're going to find freedom again inside. And we're going to learn how to be happy being alone and being out by ourselves. And we start seeing the love that is everywhere around us. There's so much love to learn, inside of us, outside of us, by being alone in our house. And we're attaching to just that heartbreak that we have. That's our limited aspect of ourselves, but then we have a bigger aspect of our soul, the soul level, the spirit level, that knows that this is exactly what we need to learn. So that's why to love is to let people go when they're supposed to go. So if you are heartbroken right now, or if you have been through this, allow yourself to feel. Let yourself to go through the stages of grieving. And if you haven't done it and you feel that you still have some grieving to do, find a healer or a practitioner that will trigger some of these emotions that are inside. And they have tools to bring you inside the body and start feeling that and release that. Because as long as you do that, you're going to find this freedom that is inside, this love that is inside. And it will prepare you to have a loving relationship with yourself and maybe find somebody else in your life. And if you're not, if you're in the middle of the suffering period, one of the things that you can do is to find something in your life that you feel that you can get some progress. Find something that you can create, a course, or even go to the gym to better yourself, something that will heighten your self-esteem, that you will see a progress, you feel that something is changing. And sometimes it is to find a good therapist that will make you move forward. That will help you. When Tito passed away, I let myself go through these painful days. It took me the first week, second week. It's been now almost like a month and a half. And because I let myself move through that, and I cried a lot, and I still let myself cry, my life started to open, slowly started to open. And today, because of that, I was able to fly to Argentina. I'm in Argentina, South America right now. So far away, and come and see my mom that was by herself for 6 months and be with her. And I started to be a lot more creative and with my posts and the things that I want to do. I was hired to teach at the Barbara Brenner School of Healing recently. So all of this is because Tito has created a space for me, and I allowed myself to vomit that out. I created a space, and I was determined to keep healing, keep letting go. So we're almost done, but I want to tell you that if you're suffering right now, I know how hard that is. I know how brutal this pain can be, and it is really hard, and nobody should ever diminish or lessen because it is truly difficult. People used to tell me, "Oh, you can find another dog," and I always feel like, or you can go and find somebody else. Sometimes when you're not going through it, people don't understand that you need time to heal. And I would tell people, no, I'm really sad right now, and I need healing, I need time, and I will give myself that time. But if you do this, if you allow yourself, you will see that quickly you're going to come out of it. And it could be different emotions. It could be anger. If you have anger, allow yourself to feel anger. Scream. If you feel fear, allow yourself to feel the fear. Sit down, lay down, and feel the fear, or call me. I will help you. I will guide you through it because this is what I've been trained to do. Okay, and because I lived it myself, I have the tools to help you and guide you through it. But commit to doing this. Take the opportunity, take the gift, because you will be amazed of how life comes back to you and give you the gifts of evolving, and you will heal so much, and you will become prosperous again. It is a gift sometimes when we lose somebody, if you know how to take advantage of it. So now I would like to, before we end, I would like to, of course, there will be a time if you want to ask a question. We'd love to see if you have any question, but I would like to thank you for your presence. It has been, it's been so nice that you gave your time to be here with me, and I really appreciate that. Other people will benefit from this lecture in the future, and if anybody wants to share that will be great. And also, I have an Instagram account where I post a lot of information about other healing modalities or other events in life that it's very interesting. The Instagram is healer.ricardo if you want to know it. But well, I'm ready to open up the mic. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer. Let's see if Roxana is there. Hello? Does anybody has any questions? No? No, we don't have any questions. All right, well, thank you very much for coming, and I will see you soon. Thank you, Roxana. Oh, somebody came back?